popped up pregnant, but I'm a hoe because I popped up pregnant. Wow.
You can't tell a hoe.
He texts her phone. She deletes his text message.
Ooh.
Yeah, she deleted his text message.
Miss Fuentes had sex with pretty much all your sons.
Not all. Not all of them.
Oh, how many you got?
I got 10.
Ooh, all boys?
Two exes are up against each other in paternity court over the paternity of their potential daughter.
You claim your ex-fiance and the mother of your 3-year-old son cheated on you and then took your son to another state to marry the man she cheated with. Now you say Miss Sutton also has a 2-year-old daughter whom she claims is yours, even though her husband has been raising her as his own.
Both participants hold solid ill feelings for each other. Yeah, it's quite obvious across the screen.
My ex-fiancée, Alicia, cheated on me and moved to another state with my son.
You're together.
We was together, Your Honor.
You're engaged.
Yes.
And then you found out she was cheating.
Yes. She said she her girlfriend have a question for me. And I said, what kind of question? She cheated on a man. She said, what would you do if you was in our shoes? I said, I would leave her. And then she started crying, Your Honor.
But the defense was ready to own her swindling like this.
We have a 3-year-old son, and yes, he was there at the birth of my son. But the reason why I cheated, because you was never home. You want to do what you want to do, smoking, drinking. If I'm hearing you out doing all these things, why I can't go do? Y'all can take that picture down, because that's not a happy family no more. That was the beginning of my 3-year-old son.
The judge was not up for the unnecessary to and fro in the courtroom.
You're in a relationship with Mr. Page. You're engaged. Things are going along, but you're not happy.
Yes.
He's working.
Working.
You start getting information that suggests that he's out doing some
Even
things
though
he
I'm not just gonna believe girls or what they say, but your own male friends are telling me this.
Okay.
That you're hanging out with.
Yes, I did hang out, Your Honor.
why?
It looks like that infidelity accusation was served from both sides.
You can be in other females' face, but what is he doing with these females? Oh, you don't even want me to tell you. If your homeboy is saying you don't even want me to tell, that means you sleeping with her. You sitting up here acting like I was.
And you confronted him about this?
Tell me that, Your Honor. She would always say, I'm tired. Yes, you're right. You're tired by sleeping around.
Sleeping around with one person.
Yes, it don't matter
how many people you sleeping around with?
0.
Up next was real disorder in the court.
I popped up pregnant, but I'm a hoe because I popped up pregnant. Wow.
You can't turn a hoe to a housewife.
You sure can't.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
That's why I made you my wife.
Thank you.
Let's watch our language in the courtroom.
However, the plaintiff was persistent about never stepping out of his relationship.
I clean every time I show my son in bed. I'm an unhappy person, so now I just.
Okay, so that gives you a reason to cheat. If you unhappy.
I went out and drank late night. I went out and drank with my son.
So you were out hanging out.
Yes,
and you were drinking, but you weren't cheating.
Yes,
now,
never cheated.
Miss Sutton, when you heard was that he was out sleeping around.
I didn't believe it at first.
And this is how he found out about his woman messing with the other guy.
You agree with him at first. I made up this lie saying my friend want to know this question because I was scared at first.
Your Honor, I told Mike. When I told Mike,
I do believe she said Miss Sutton is talking right now.
But you're not telling the truth. You're going to tell the truth. Tell the truth, all the truth.
I'm talking.
You all know how to run this courtroom all by yourself. It's a shame you don't know how to work out your problems.
Let's watch what Mr. Cooper has to say about the situation.
The last 2 years, I've taken care of this baby. I've done everything I could. She's mine. I feel it in my heart that she's mine. You know, despite what happened between Alicia and I and her ex-fiance, I accept that. I'm sorry for that. But when Alicia told me she was pregnant, I was excited, you know.
No, you was not excited. Because when
yes, he was excited.
When I told you, you told me that this child is not yours. Yes or no? Then that's what you say.
Time to learn the results.
Mr. Page, you are her father.
She's still mine.
Over my dead body. That's my daughter.
That you would never see.
But what I've heard him say today is that he plans to be a father to his son and to his daughter, and you gotta allow him that opportunity.
So, let's see how Mr. Page's first meeting with his daughter goes.
So, Mr. Page, are you ready to meet your beautiful baby girl for the very first time?
Yes, Your Honor.
That was what you call unconditional, true love.
Smirk-faced defendant has been fooling around with 2 women at the same time. And now, things are about to go down big time.
I'm the defendant, Stephen Macon, fathered your child while in a relationship with his current girlfriend, Ms. Glover.
Yes, Your Honor.
You claim you can prove he got you pregnant at the same time, and now you both have 2-year-old children named Stephen Macon Jr.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, he depended on himself in a very loose manner.
5 kids by 5 different baby daddies.
And you
could be the sick.
No, I ain't. We ain't have sex till like 3 months after. I wouldn't even have sex. Me and Miss Glover, we wasn't together at the time.
Did you use protection?
Yes.
But there was a malfunction.
Right. Before we even had sex, 3 weeks after I met her, she got my name
right upstairs
tattooed
to
on
the
her
attic.
neck.
You got his name tattooed on your neck 3 weeks after
We ain't
you
even
met
had
her?
sex yet.
No.
Miss Puckett was warped, thinking Mr. Macon is good.
We was dating. He was treating me real good. He buy me stuff. He give me money when I needed it. If I needed anything, my kids anything, he'd do for them. When I was pregnant, he was rubbing on my belly like he was happy and he was concerned about it.
The defendant was still up with his denying self.
It's not my child. No, she was sleeping around with a whole lot of people. I know it.
Do you have any proof of that? Did you bring the court anything? Did you hear anything? Did you talk to someone? Did you see her? Did you
Yeah, my own
catch her?
friends, they used to spend the night over there. Like, it wasn't nothing.
Your friends used to spend
Yeah.
the night over her house? Like,
Yeah.
Lie, Your Honor.
I didn't have sex with her till after 3 months after I met her.
The judge was not buying any of it.
I'm gonna take that smile as a symbol of your nervousness
Yeah,
and not
right,
that you
right.
think it's funny
Right.
to have two young men running around this world called Stephen Macon Jr.
No, it's not funny.
Both have your name, and coming from I couldn't imagine if my father, who is the junior, was looking at another person that had the same name.
FYI, he was not done playing coy at all.
He sent me a message saying that if it was his, we always gonna move in together.
If he is, like I said, I'll apologize to him. I'll come get him and whatever else needed, and I'll apologize to you till the sun comes up.
Yeah, I wrote it.
Your jerk factor is on 10, Mr. Macon. I'm not gonna lie.
After this came the pregnancy part.
He came in and he was looking at the baby, playing with my son. And then so he said, so what you naming him? I said, I'm naming him after my brother. I said, 'cause that's what my grandma wanted me to do. No, you're not naming him that. You name him Steve. So he said, call the nurse. So I buzzed the nurse. The nurse was there as a witness, because you know the nurse gotta be there at all hospitals before they let you sign anything, an affidavit or anything like that. And that's what I did.
Now it was time the judge called in the other baby mama.
Asking you that series of questions has alerted me that your intention is to completely discredit her at all costs. I get why there's animosity between the two of you. Look, but I get it. This is a difficult situation, and as I can see from hearing Mr. Macon's testimony, he does not help it any. You just right in the middle with your hands in your pocket.
By now, we were pretty much done with lying and manipulation. So, let's cut to the result.
Mr. Macon Sr., you are his father.
And we all know the judge just doesn't do things like that.
Came in here with no evidence, could barely put a sentence together because you're smiling and laughing, because your nerves are shot, because you're lying. So you got two little boys now. You gotta make them understand this. The court has resources for you. Figure how to talk through it. Take advantage of the resources we have for you.
Well, we're in for an embarrassing ride. Baby mama has been with 5 men from the same family. Infidelity overdose.
You are here today seeking the results of paternity tests for your 2 children. You claim your wife, Ms. Fuentes, has cheated on you repeatedly. You say she once left you for another man, slept with 5 brothers from the same family, and even had the name of another guy tattooed on her body.
Yes, Your Honor.
With that said, let's see how the defendant chooses to proceed.
You claim your husband was never really your type.
Correct.
And though you love him, you've never really been in love with him.
Yes, ma'am.
Today, you've also brought another man to court who is waiting outside, who you believe could also be the father of one of your children.
Yes, ma'am.
She further told the court this.
I slept with her 5 sons.
It doesn't even matter.
That's my fault, and I will admit that. And
You shouldn't even be over there like that. You should be spending time with your family that you have, that you married with us, the kids,
But who
me.
wants to be with somebody that when it's not
So now, Mr. Rash, let me be clear. You felt like we're together.
Yeah, we're
and
together.
so during the time of conception,
Yeah.
you think you're still in a relationship.
Yeah.
Even after all that, Mr. Rash stepped up as a father.
I was there from day one. They're tattooed to my arms, you know.
Were you working throughout the pregnancy?
Yes, ma'am. I'm an auto mechanic.
On and off, he always got
No.
fired. He was getting beat up by his bosses because he don't know what he's doing.
I do mobile.
So you say you held a job.
Yes,
No.
ma'am.
And you contribute to the household
Yes,
and
ma'am.
support. You have the children.
Yes, ma'am.
You're raising them.
Yes, ma'am.
Admittedly, acting like that is very big of the guy at the podium.
You have
He
another
don't
man's
take, he does not
tattoo
take the
to
best
your body.
Yes, because but you knew from the beginning that I was
You
having
never was in love with
and I didn't want to be
but
with
all
you.
these lies,
I tried to
the
make it work.
deceitfulness.
I tried to make it work.
This is what I don't get. You stand here, you talk about Mr. Rash, he's this, he's that, he's too soft. You married him.
By now, the judge was concerned with the cheating part.
Me and him had gotten in an argument because he was too busy accusing me, oh, you did this to the mailman.
I didn't even accuse you of anything at that point. I didn't even know any of that.
He accuses me of doing anything, you know what I mean? To make himself feel better, he likes to pick and choose. Well, we had agreed to split up. I told him, look, I'm leaving. I'm going away for a couple days because she had called me and asked me and said, we're having a picnic, a 4th of July picnic. Would you like to come over? I said yes.
Yeesh. Time to hear from the brother.
Did you have sex with Miss Fuente?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. What was the nature of your relationship?
Pretty much just family, friend.
Do you believe you're her child's father?
Not really. Don't look like me at all.
Looks don't matter.
But the time of conception matches. You understand that, right? That at the time the child was conceived, you were sleeping with her.
Correct.
Whoa, that is just brutal, don't you think?
Miss Fuentes had sex with pretty much all your sons.
Not all of them.
Not all of them.
Oh, how many you got?
I got 10.
Ooh! All boys?
I got 3 girls.
Ooh! Just like my grandmother, 7. What do you feel about that?
I love her children. Her children look at me like a grandmother. I look at her like a daughter, and
Good thing was that all the participants were in on the truth.
it takes 2 people to tango, if you know what I mean. And if they didn't take their turns, if you know what I mean, she wouldn't have been in this predicament as far as that goes. She's not the only one there.
Take all the turns.
Right.
She wouldn't be in this predicament.
Right, that's true.
Have
But it
you
also
talked to
takes
her
them
about
too.
that?
It also takes them too.
She is talking to me about it.
So now,
Only DNA can tell if Chuck is the father.
Mr. Rash, you are her father.
Where do we go from here?
You did the right thing. You just have to trust yourself enough to know you're going to continue to do the right thing. You understand?
Come on, not this guy back again.
You've appeared in this courtroom for 2 previous cases. One with DNA results that proved you were the father of a child, and the other that proved you were not. Now you say you are here yet again as the father of 7 children with 4 different women to deny that you fathered child number 8 with mother number 5.
He did the same act again.
Ms. Smith, you admit you cheated on Mr. Scott, but say you believe it was before you got pregnant. You argue that the only reason he's denying your daughter is because he can no longer control you. Furthermore, you claim Mr. Scott scammed you into paying his travel costs when he visited you in Michigan, and you are asking the court to award you $1,500 for reimbursement of airline and lodging expenses.
Wow, the guy is good at fooling women, ain't he?
I was looking for love, and I went to a website, and I ran into Crystal. 4 or 5 months into it, started getting suspicious about certain things. She gave me her voicemail, and I hear dudes in the background.
I gave you my voicemail, Pastor, because I wasn't doing anything.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, true that. But then dudes are leaving voicemails to her talking about, oh, you sexy. Well, dudes ain't supposed to leave messages talking about you sexy.
And you ain't supposed to be calling other
So hold on. This is before you ever met her.
Yeah, this is before, but we talked every day.
Prior children were new news to Miss Smith.
Was he honest with you about how many children he had?
No, he was not.
You didn't know that Mr. Scott had 2 3-year-olds, 2 6-year-olds,
no, I
a
did not.
7-year-old, a 12-year-old, and a 13-year-old.
She knew about all my kids.
I only knew about 5 kids.
She knew about all my kids because all my kids was on my page.
Mr. Scott had a whole fake persona lined up to dope people around him.
Big rich person from Hollywood.
I ain't never said that
he had
from
a big
Hollywood.
house on the beach. That he had like 6 cars. He was taking pictures by different cars every day. Made himself. He was making fun of people. They were on like assistants and stuff.
Oh.
However, it's hard to get around in this courtroom.
Last time you appeared in this courtroom, you said the exact same thing. Look at something that looks very familiar to me.
Oh, wow. Check it all out.
Oh. Were you in love with
I wouldn't
Mr.
say it was
Scott?
love on the internet site that I met him on. Basically, same things I was looking for.
So, Miss Kalan, you find out you're pregnant. And then what?
He was happy. He said, quote unquote, oh, mommy, we're going to be a family.
The man lacks any sort of sympathy.
Mr. Scott, you also have a lot of women. We learned in court before that you had several women at the same time, and now are we adding Miss Smith to the mix?
Mr. Scott tried to defend himself like this.
When I arrived in Michigan, she did not greet me at all. She took me amongst her family. Everybody greeted me with love. It was like, hey, how's California? And whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. And is it nice out there? Is it sunny? I said, yes, it's nice out here. Okay, so we go to her job. Everybody's questioning me about California. There's one guy in particular who does not say nothing to me at all.
Nobody cares about
this
you,
dude didn't
Marcel.
look at me at all. I'm not stupid. I'm a very smart man. He had his head down.
Turns out that this baby was no accident.
You all decided you wanted to have a baby together.
True. When she took the IUD out.
But when you tell him you're pregnant, he denies it?
Yes, and then
Went down
he
here.
disappeared.
I didn't disappear.
He
My number was
disappeared.
the same.
He
I
changed
didn't
his
go
number.
back out there.
I put on face, I can't wait to find out what we are having. 2 seconds later, he deactivated his whole Facebook because he didn't want anybody to know that I was pregnant.
Looks like if puffiness had a face, it'd be this guy.
I offered for them to stay at my house so they didn't have to spend no money. He said, oh no, I got this, I'll pay for the hotel. Well, it turns around, Crystal paid for the hotel. We had family cookouts so that he could get to know the family. And oh no, he didn't want to go, he wanted to stay in the hotel. Crystal wasn't allowed to go because he came there to see Crystal. She had to stay there and see him. He was only here for a little bit of time. He didn't want to meet the family.
Hopefully, the witness will add some sense to this trial.
Big hotshot dude, and everybody has to respect him. He ain't nobody. People in Saginaw, homeless people in Saginaw have more respect than he does.
Can I say something, please? Can I say
He
something,
ain't nobody.
Thank you for that. You may be seated, ma'am.
Well, we only know one way to end this.
Mr. Scott, you are her father.
Told
Who couldn't
you.
keep their legs closed?
Take care of your baby.
Keep their legs closed, Trudy.
Mother-in-law here knows what the defendant has been up to, so she wants a paternity test on her grandchild.
Mr. Riley are here today to determine the paternity of his alleged 4-month-old baby. You state that his wife, Mrs. Riley, admitted to having sex with 2 different men in addition to your son during the time the child was conceived. Your son's wife lies and cheats, and you are here hoping to put an end to their marriage.
Yes, ma'am.
Miss Riley, on the other hand, didn't gloss swindling either.
You admit to having a one-night stand with one potential father, as well as a month-long affair with another man.
Yes, Your
while
Honor.
married to Mr. Riley.
However, she had her reason for going astray.
I ain't married to her. I'm married to my husband, James Riley.
And he's still my son and will be my son to the
And
day
he's
I
still
die.
my husband. I'm not
Whatever.
going nowhere.
So whatever.
Miss Tucker, what is it that
She further defended herself like this.
you admitted to a one-night stand? So
Yes, I
tell
did.
me what happened.
What happened, me and him was fighting. It got escalated. I called a family member. He had a friend, Mr. Schaefer. They helped me move some things in, and I moved out. We was all hanging out, having a good time, drinking. The guy was ugly. It was the best sex of my life. I will admit that.
The other potential father had this to say about the whole situation.
She's ugly.
Better look in the mirror.
How did you end up back with this boyfriend?
The boyfriend, I went back to my husband. I thought everything was gonna be better. He kept telling me that we're working on our marriage, he'll treat me right. Again, things kept escalating. I stayed with the boyfriend at a hotel for 2 weeks.
This wasn't the only nasty round in Riley's relationship.
You were at a hotel for 2 weeks.
I left my husband for the boyfriend. I kept telling the boyfriend I miss my husband. I want to be with him. That's who I've been with for 5 years of my life. That's the only man I really know. I go back to my husband. I explained my boyfriend didn't have nowhere to go. He was gonna be homeless. I felt bad for the guy.
Wow, ain't she generous?
If your boyfriend,
And he
who
was
you
okay
laid
with
up
it.
at the hotel with
He
for
was
2
okay with
weeks, could come and stay because he didn't have anywhere to
She lied.
He was okay with it.
He can stay with his father.
He
Mr.
said
Riley,
it was fine.
Mr. Riley, please tell me you said no.
I didn't.
There was,
I
like,
felt
blood.
bad for him. She told me that he didn't have no place to go.
However, she was not done yet.
Yes, I will admit that because I was confused. Like I had my husband.
Mr. Riley, were you aware that she was sleeping
Yes,
with
he
the
was.
boyfriend and you at the same time?
Well, one night she'd sleep with him on the couch, and then the next night she'd
They
be like,
both
I'm with
knew.
you, and then she'd sleep in the bed with me.
Yeah.
After the baby, the husband was the suffering entity in this situation.
He's been born. He was there when he was born. Who? I would fall in love with a child if I was around it all the time, which I've never got to see.
why are
because
you
she
here?
has.
You're so happy. So why are you here?
Lady, you so busy screaming back and forth, you don't understand this man is standing here looking at.
Harry accepted that child. Why
No,
does she
no.
Time for the truth. Judge, please do this woman well.
Giving you the attention you needed, but he most certainly gave you a lot of forgiveness that I'm not sure the only way we're going to be able to see how and what we should do from here is to get the results.
Now it was time for results.
Mr. Schaefer, the man Mrs. Riley had a one-night stand with, is not father. Mr. Riley, you are not the father.